There are places people go to feel safe. Libraries. Hospitals. Coffee shops. Places where nothing dangerous is supposed to happen. For me, that place used to be a Starbucks in San Jose. During college I practically lived there. The free Wi-Fi, the constant coffee, the quiet hum of people studying late into the night, it was perfect. After a few months, the staff recognized me. And I started recognizing everyone else too. Regulars came and went like clockwork. Except for one woman. She looked like she had stepped straight out of a nightmare. Every time she entered the store, the entire mood shifted. She would slam her purse on the counter and bark out the most ridiculous drink orders imaginable. Let me get a venti blonde roast hazelnut latte with soy milk, 2 pumps sugar cookie syrup, 3 pumps cinnamon dolce, 1 pump dark caramel, light ice, salted caramel foam, 3 extra espresso shots, and 6 pumps sugar-free vanilla. Then she'd lean closer. And hurry up before I give you 1 star. No one liked serving her. She yelled at employees, insulted customers, and once even threw a chair across the store during an argument about how much sugar they added to her drink. Eventually the police had to be called. After that night, we assumed she'd never come back. But a week later, she did. And that's when something far worse happened. One evening I was studying alone near closing time. Only one employee was working behind the counter. She looked new. Exhausted. When I asked for a refill, she made my drink and brought it over. The moment I lifted the lid, I froze. The coffee inside wasn't normal. The liquid had a strange greenish tint. And the smell. It burned my nose like chemicals. I immediately called the employee over. She looked confused. I made it the same way we always do. But before we could argue any further, the back kitchen door burst open. And she ran out. The same old woman. She sprinted toward the exit. The barista chased her, grabbing her arm. The woman laughed like it was all a joke. Then she shoved the employee away and ran outside. By the time anyone reacted, she was already driving off. The police arrived 30 minutes later. At first, it sounded like nothing more than another disturbance. Until investigators found something disturbing. The ingredients behind the counter had been tampered with. Someone had mixed them with rubbing alcohol. The police tracked the woman down days later. Inside her home they found gallons of the same chemical used to contaminate the drinks. If I had taken even 1 sip, I probably wouldn't be telling this story. And to this day, I still wonder how many drinks she tampered with before anyone noticed. Working early morning shifts at Starbucks slowly destroys your brain. Every day starts the same. 5 a.m. Half asleep. Making the same drinks. Serving the same people. After a while, everything blends together. But there was one customer I could never ignore. She drove a gray sedan. And every time she pulled up to the drive-thru, her car was full of dolls. Dozens of them. Porcelain faces. Glass eyes. All strapped into the passenger seats like real people. At first I thought it was some weird decoration. But the creepiest part was how she spoke to them. "Now what do you want today?" she'd ask the dolls. Then she'd pause. Like she was waiting for them to answer. The first few times it happened, I laughed it off. But she kept coming back. Every morning. Ordering drinks for her family. Eventually I memorized every order. But she always acted like she was hearing it for the first time. One morning I finally snapped. When she pulled up to the window, I handed her only 1 drink. She frowned. "Where are the rest?" I looked directly at the dolls. Then I said something I shouldn't have. Store policy changed. We only serve real people now. Her expression turned cold. Before I could react, she threw the entire cup of boiling coffee directly into my face. I collapsed screaming. Later, when my manager reviewed the security footage, my stomach dropped. Because inside her car, there were no dolls. Just a normal family. A husband. 2 kids. All sitting quietly. Watching me. I still don't know if exhaustion made me hallucinate. Or if something else was going on. But one thing still terrifies me. Every single time she came to the window, those dolls were always staring directly at me. After a 12-hour shift at work, the last thing I wanted was Starbucks. But my wife texted me asking for one of her ridiculous custom drinks. So I stopped at the nearest location. It was late. Almost midnight. When I pulled up to the drive-thru, something felt wrong. The lights were on. But no one answered the speaker. Inside the building, I could see a barista standing behind the counter. She wasn't moving. Just staring straight ahead. I tried calling out. Nothing. Then she twitched. Slowly. That's when I noticed something strange. Metal around her wrists. And ankles. Shackles. I tried convincing myself they were part of some weird outfit. But deep down, I knew they weren't. I drove around and parked. The front door wasn't even locked. Inside the store, the woman greeted me with the strangest smile I've ever seen. "Hello, what can I get for you today?" Her voice sounded normal. But her body kept twitching. I handed her my phone with the drink order. She stared at it. Then stared at me. Without blinking. And then something happened I'll never forget. Without turning around. Without even moving her feet. She bent her arms backwards. All the way to the drink station behind her. Her joints twisted at angles that shouldn't be possible. But somehow she made the entire drink perfectly. Never breaking eye contact with me. When she handed it over, she leaned closer. Should I make one for myself too? That was enough. I grabbed the cup and ran out of the building. I never went back. But weeks later, I drove past that same Starbucks. It was completely abandoned. Closed. According to the sign on the door. It had been shut down months earlier. Some places feel safe. Coffee shops. Quiet homes. Empty streets. But the truth is, the most terrifying moments in life often happen when you think you're completely alone. And sometimes, you aren't.